This is the Eurodragster podcast from Eurodragster.com, covering UK and European drag racing since 1997. Hosted by Graham and Chris. This bi-monthly show brings you the latest news, stories and updates from across the drag racing scene, with the occasional guest. This podcast is sponsored by Design by Binny. Now, let's get to it.
Welcome back to episode 7 of the Eurodragster.com podcast with me, Graham, and
myself, Chris.
You find us both fresh-faced after a hectic day in our day jobs, and me back from, funnily enough, I would say my second visit to pod this year, because the first one was the dial-in day, but official duties yesterday.
It was a very productive day on the Dial-in Day.
Yes, it was.
I would say it was. I would say very productive.
Yes, I'm gonna take positives from that. I really like that. With the people that were there, we connected with a few people, and we certainly had some interesting little chats and visits. And Jess did her thing, I did my thing, you did your thing, and it worked out very well.
It really did.
Yeah, and then yesterday, I say yesterday because this will probably come out on a Tuesday, and then they'll think I went there on a Monday, but I didn't. On the 22nd, I attended Straightliner's first competitive event of the season at Santapod. Great little day, beautiful weather, if a little bit cold in the air, but sunshine. It's very strange though. I left my house in the sunshine and got to within probably 20 miles of Santapod yesterday, and it was fog. You couldn't see a thing. I was like, what's going on here? But that prevailed. I got all the way to the track in the fog, parked up, got into the tower, sat down, and the fog never really left until about 11 o'clock, and we were like, oh dear, here we go. But no, all power, they all the track staff crack on. Bob and Ian Marshall were like straight on with it, got it all done, all singing and all dancing, and the gallery went up as soon as I got home yesterday. So if you want to go along and see some pictures from Straightliner's opening event, they are under events on the website.
And also, if you want to see the best times, that'll be on the Straightliners website as well, under results.
Yep.
You better get your best runs time. So.
Yep. So I spoke to people at the track yesterday, the 22nd, and everything is in full swing. We're on a 2-week countdown for Festival of Power. There was lots of things.
2 weeks.
Yeah, there were lots of things going on in the background. Lots of, there was another event going on at Pod yesterday, so they couldn't do as much as they probably would have liked to, but I spoke to some people that do a lot of the planning and a lot of the on-the-ground work yesterday, and they were saying it's really going to be full on now. Let's get on with it, and let's get this done and that done, and, Festival of Power looks like it's going to be a good one. We got
and I'm gutted I'm not going to be there. But I'm watching on live stream.
Yeah, 2 top fuel cars, 4 top nitro funny cars, as well as the rest of the classes that are looking very well attended. I did have a flick through the Santapod Racers Club entrance, and I was like, "Oh, blimey, here we go! I'm going to be busy."
I think Pro ET, they've got quite a lot. I think it's in the 40s, high 40s, I believe.
Yeah. So
Sportsman ET are 34 cars, which is brilliant for the class.
That's going to be a good event. Everybody's looking forward to it. I think the only thing that we have to look forward to is let's have some good weather for Easter.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not have any issues. Issues yesterday. Second run of the day, there was a minor oil down. I was like, oh dear. I won't say the driver's name. It was a car. Broke his drive shaft. Well, broke the UJ at the diff end of the drive shaft, and to see the drive shaft flailing underneath the car was quite. Oh my good God, no, But those things happen. As I was
And
watching,
fingers crossed it'll be a quick repair for him and he'll be back
Yep.
out. So.
Yeah, he will. He will. Which only left,
Yeah.
unfortunately, one car in the 660 class that day. And,
Yeah.
So she romped home to a victory.
He did.
She did. I don't think it was all
He was
plain.
in a borrowed car as well. So.
Yeah, I don't think it was all plain sailing for the lady in question. So, but
Nope.
somebody said yes, and she didn't need asking twice, so she often went and stole the car.
Yeah.
And then but lots of bikes, lots of scooters, lots of well attended.
Nice exhibition runs off Roger on the Firestorm.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I didn't expect that to be there. And then suddenly
No.
they said, "Oh, by the way, Roger Goring's here," and I was like, "Oh, hello, what?"
Yeah.
That's my first time on the start line for a jet car ever. I was quite impressed. I expected it to be a little bit more of a blow you over type sort of thing, but
yeah,
I was impressed. I'll take that. Can I have some more, please?
Yes.
So Festival Power is in full swing. I know we are. I know I am. I've got everything in place, ready to go. I've just basically got to turn up now and get typing.
Yeah. And you've got the Discord or WhatsApp direct messaging to me, so just in case you have any issues, I can help remotely if I can. So
yes, and that's one thing we wanted to get back, but we'll try. We'll take it easy going into the first big event. So Jess is going to be at Festival of Power. Just confirm that with me.
She is,
yeah.
She is,
so
she's going to be racing, and in between racing and
haranguing people,
crewing for a dad, she will be wandering the pits, getting interviews and little conversations, little chats, and hopefully she'll do really well and get them updated on the website as soon as she gets them.
Yeah, so I've got everything in place for Jess just to pop up. Excuse me, and just type away.
I think she's going to try to get access in a pits to do it as well, but if not, she can come up to see you.
Yeah, I've got all the access that I could possibly need. I've checked everything at their end. We're all singing and all dancing up in the tower.
Well, the Festival of Power starts off our awards, our perfect awards.
Yep, it does indeed.
That's your perfect ET, your perfect light, and your photo finish award.
Yep.
They all start at Festival of Power. So be interested to see who's been a bit of pre-season practice and see who's.
And I'll put it out there. There's one family I'm not paying money to this year. I'm not their ATM. I seem to pay them too much money last year, so I'm going to try not to do that this year. They know who they are. I'm not going to mention their name. But as we always do with these, we've started out with a tiny bit of news saying what's coming. I'll hand over to Chris and we'll just do our bits and pieces, our little news, our Swift snippets. Some birthdays included in that. So away you go, Chris.
Yeah, not too bad. Right, thanks, Graham. News has been fairly busy through the last few days. Obviously, the build up to Manston, the seasonal opener at Manston Raceway Park, as well as the straight liners at Melbourne. The galleries for both events are said on our website in the event section, so don't forget to go find your photograph, or if you want to have a look, there's some great photos from there from Tog and from Graham himself. Some Santa Pod releases for the Cars Go Fast. They need parachutes, all part of Santa Pod at 60 years old. That's a big article we posted. The SFI recertification tour in Netherlands. There are information from Remco, from Drag Racing Europe, some pictures and some updates on that. So check that out on our website or the Drag Racing Europe page. I believe straight liners were at Dakota Raceway on Saturday. Unfortunately, we couldn't get anyone there to get us some pictures, so we've took that off the events. if you've got any pictures and you've got a full gallery, if you want to share them on Eurodragster, please get in touch with myself or Graham, where we can get them uploaded onto the gallery, obviously credited to yourselves as well. I don't want to go too far back. Unfortunately, on Friday last week, we notified by Ian King some sad news from Phil Higman. He passed away after suffering cancer. I think a lot of you have seen the post.
Yeah.
On our site.
mean, a big character in the drag bike world.
He is, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I had a
he-
long conversation with somebody at the track, on Sunday, about the gentleman in question.
Mhm. Yeah.
Used to race with him, used to race against him, and it was a very insightful chat, and a sad loss.
It is, yeah. Going back for the following weekend for Darling Day, as I say, we did talk about it a few minutes ago. What a successful day all round for not just for Santa Pod. Obviously, we had a proactive day setting up. Jess Bishop had a good chance to interview a few people. Congratulations to Chloe Middleton for winning the cars, for winning 2 out of 3 rounds in a BMW.
Yeah, that she borrowed.
She borrowed, yeah. The bikes winner went to Jack Chamberlain, I believe. That's what I've been informed by Santa Pod. And Chloe won the chance for free entry to Sportsman ET for 2026.
Oh wow!
Starting her journey in Sportsman ET.
Oh wow!
So I think that's what happens. I think the winner of the cars get Festival of Power.
They get
of charge.
a free of charge, an event entry. Festival.
Yeah, and then
wow.
after that,
That's great.
That's part of the winning. So yeah, well done, Chloe, for doing that.
Yeah,
I was there, and we did see you drive, and I think you were very competitive, and
yep,
it was really good.
From what I see, she wasn't hanging around for the green light. She was off.
No, she was off.
Yeah, and the racing connection is quite big with Chloe, so everybody's giving her advice, and obviously she took that advice and she actually did very well.
Really did, yeah. Graham was obviously there doing some pictures, so there is a small gallery on the event coverage. So just go see if you want to go see your car. If not, then just have a look at the pictures.
Yep.
Not very much on the news.
I did unfortunately make an appearance in someone's YouTube video. It wasn't very pleasant.
Yes.
That was not pleasant at all. But
no.
Unfortunately, if I'm on the start line and that person's filming, I'll learn next time.
The Manston Park, the season opener, which was over the weekend, so we had former owner editor Tog taking some pictures over the weekend. They're all up on the website in the events. We'll get the results from Paul Marston probably in a couple of days' time, or if not, it might be already live on our site when you listen to this.
Yep.
I'm just going to move on to some birthdays. Because there's not much more news that's been happening. There's a few more news I'll announce a bit later on. Let me just get on that section. I'm not on computers today. No. So we are recording this on a Monday, not a Sunday. So happy birthday to Super Pro ET racer and Drag Racing Hall of Fame member Mark Flavel. Happy birthday. Pro Modified racer Mick Payne. Top Fuel Dragster racer Tony Bryans.
Brintonson. Tony
That's
Brintonson.
it, yeah.
Yes. Top methanol driver. Yes, I did see a message online. Yep.
Yes. Ex-Dutch Top Fuel racer Lex June.
Oh,
you got Nitrous Guru Trevor Langfield. Outlaw Anglia and 950 bike racer Scotty Cruxton. They're all birthday on Monday. For Tuesday this week, we have Funny Bike Crew and engineer Lucy Miller. We have long-time scrutineer Glenn Stockton. And we've got former pro stock racer and supergas champion Conrad Stanley. This is for Tuesday. And on Wednesday, so I'm only going to go as far as Wednesday because I don't go too far ahead. We've got British Drag Racing Hall of Fame member and 5-time FIA Top Methanol Dragster champion Dave Wilson. Happy birthday to Wednesday. And we also have Centerpod commercial manager Caroline Holden. Happy birthday. And drag racing historian Nick Pettit. Hope you're going to have a good day. Yes, Nick Pettit. Birthday on Wednesday the 25th. So I think that's all we've got for birthdays at the moment.
Yep. Yep, very much so. Happy birthday to everyone. There's quite a few.
Yes.
Very good, very good names there. Well, I hope you all had great days. This will obviously come out on a Tuesday, which will be the 24th. Yep. So if it's your birthday,
we've covered.
I think we've covered that one. I think we've covered that one. Fair enough.
A bit later on in the podcast, I'll announce some forthcoming events.
Yep.
So we'll move on to our next.
We'll move on to tonight's guests. It's coming up to the time that we need to call, so I will just catch you back in a second when we are on the group chat. Welcome back to our guests. Now, I say guests this evening because there are more than one. This is probably a record for us. Usually it's one or two, but how many are counting now? 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 6. You know, we're up market this evening. So I had this brainwave probably about a fortnight ago that I would harangue someone, and just on the off chance that they'd come and join us, because. And they said, well, and they actually said yes, which was quite good. And I really thought, okay, what have I let myself in for? But welcome to the Eurodragster.com podcast, White Label Motorsport.
Hello.
Look at them all.
Hi.
I talk like we're on a video podcast, but we're not. We're on an audio podcast, so I can see them all and I can just pull faces at them. But you won't be able to see their lovely faces. But most of you will know their lovely faces and the handsome devils that they are. I will say this every single time in this podcast. I know nobody from nobody because either I see their eyes through the visor or the back of their helmet. I never actually know unless I actually get allowed out of the tower to go and talk to people, which is very rare because Chris is
not allowed out.
Yeah, Chris is an absolute taskmaster, you know. Jamie only knows me because he comes to visit, you know. He sort of brings me care packages. But from
time to time, yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Say this evening. This will go out earlier. This will go out on tomorrow. This will go tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to edit it ASAP and get that out. But let's go around the room. First to start, tell us who you are, what you drive, what class you're in, and a quick bio. See, look, it goes dead.
Go on, Tom.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Yes, hello everyone. So I'm Tom Herbert. I drive the VW Corrado, a part of the White Label Motorsport team. It's a 2.9 litre VR6 supercharged Corrado, up the supercharged, and I've been driving that since 2021. Prior to that, my history has always been in the VW DRC. Always a VR6 man, apart from my briefs in a V5, which we don't talk about publicly. But yeah, so that's me. Been racing with the team since founding it. So, you know, me and Jacob were the founding members of White Label. My business is White Label as well, so hence the name. And yeah, that's a bit about me.
Excellent. I have this is where my my insider information from Luke Stevenson comes in.
Perfect.
You say Corrado. Where's the Beetle?
Well, the Beetle is in progress. The Beetle is in progress. So that is how I got into racing. So my dad, Paul Herbert, He started in 2002. So he's always been a Volkswagen man. We're a Volkswagen family.
Mm-hmm.
He started to race in 2002 after crewing for his friend in the Panic Attack Beetle. So he brought out his VW Beetle, famously known for its tiny windscreen. So it's a super oddly roof chop Beetle. The back's still very high, but just the windscreen has been chopped, so you can't miss it. He then went on to win a few championships. I say a few, won 5 VWDRC championships. I'm not as good, unfortunately, with 0. But by having the second name, I feel a level of entitlement to the championship. So
He's good. Oh, I see. You take the 5 championships by hereditary championships, do you?
Well, I always tell people that White Label have 10 championships. People don't need to know.
Yeah, there's no specifics. Just 10 is good. Is a good number.
10's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then so my dad, sold the Beetle in 2009, and then we surprised him as a team last year in finding it and rebuying it, and giving him it as a present for his 60th last year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good moment, but by present I mean it was literally a complete shell, which has now turned into a project on its own. So it wasn't like a happy birthday, here's a spa day. It was more like a happy birthday, here's a headache. But that's in process, and he will be back out in the Beetle this year, which we can't wait to see.
Oh, excellent! Excellent.
And I can't wait to line up against him. I'm sure it'll be an emotional moment where Herberts are known for crying, either in sadness or tantrums.
Right. Is this going to be like the Luke and Lily Stevenson thing, where the offspring absolutely pommels the father into the floor?
Well,
I think we're shaking heads there.
And a different podcast. Yes. Well, we have raced already, so we have done. So it's 3-2 to me.
Not like he's keeping score at all,
Not like keeping score, and if you ask him, there was some crazy puncher that no one else saw. 3-2 to me currently, but I'm sure that he's going to have something to say about that when the Beetle's back out, because he's known for kicking some butts in that car.
Absolutely. Right, who's next on the wanted list?
I'll go next. So, Jacob Bailey. I drive the White Label Motorsport VW Jetta, R32 turbo, runs on 50% meth. I've been running that. I built in 2009 that car. I started racing in 2005 predominantly with VWDRC. I've done a few others. Did door slammers. I think I've entered Sportsman ET as well. I don't think I did Pro ET yet, and there was a few other classes along the way. You kind of try a few. I've never managed to get the full championship yet. I've run her up a few times.
Well, that's good. That's a positive note. I'd take that any day.
Yeah, I won the Heads Up Championship a few years ago when we did that, and I won the Shakespeare one as well. I won the last ever Ultimate Power Championship, so I'll just retain that forever. No one does that again.
I'm still sore about that. Eternal runner-up.
Oh dear. I take it there's a lot of banter within White Label.
A little bit. Yeah.
Everybody's nodding. Everybody's nodding. I can see everybody nodding. I have to hasten that one. But yeah, there's always going to be friendly rivalry, isn't there?
I think we
absolutely. It's what fuels us.
We've all raced each other a couple times. I think Ed's is beating me 2-1.
At least 2-1. I think that's optimistic, Tom. That.
Yeah, but again, you lost to the V5, man.
You see. Now we talk about banter. Yeah. Never let you forget. They're like elephants, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially, But yeah, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to us. We're relatively new to this, so. You've been probably racing longer than I've been working for Euro Dragster. I have to say, I've been working for we're in our third year. I've been working for 3.5 years. The site's been around for 27 in various incarnations. I'm a newbie. I was schooled yesterday at Santa Pod by someone. I was very humbled, so I'll have to. I took my licks, and I was like, yeah, okay. So, as much as I'm here doing this now with Chris and doing whatever we can to keep the site going, I'm still learning. I'm still picking pieces up and learning people, and I'm getting to know people. So, which is a good thing. So, and when I see teams, it brings. When I see White Label, now I saw White Label probably last season when you were all pitted together, and it struck a chord with me because I come from oval racing and speedway and cars and bangers and stock cars and F1s and F2s, and I also come from a drifting background. So I used to work for the British Drift Championship. And one of the things that I saw, and I've written this down because it brought back some happy memories, was I first started doing a lot of work for the BDC when pits were predominantly filled with teams, and they came with their liveried vehicles that were all identical. They all had the same branding. They were all the same colour, and they pitted together. And I looked at White Label in the pits, and I was like, do you know what? Thank you. You know, it was a quiet thank you because it just made me feel happy.
I mean, it's something that is it has been brought to our attention more and more often over the last couple of years. Is that, and it's funny because that wasn't the original idea. You know, it was very much we race together. You know, and how can we become even closer as friends and as, you know, some sort of dysfunctional racing family, let's say. And like to keep a track of everyone and bring it all together was how the team was formed. But like yourself, you know, I think that drag racing, specifically in the UK, is relatively underrepresented in the wider media. So we're all huge motorsport fans further than just drag racing. How can we bring some of that, what you're talking about, into Santa Pod, and you know, it raised the bar from a professionalism piece, and that's where we just started playing with ideas of, you know, matching liveries, matching teamwear, you know, the social media, and it's great that people are recognizing it. But what I think is even more amazing is that we've noticed other people now doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's having that a really great effect across the place that I love and we love. Which I think is awesome. And if it keeps going that way, the natural flow from that is money, you know, because more commercialism, more sponsorship makes the teams better, more people come and watch, Santa Pod continue to improve, and it's just an outcome that everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I think personally, and I see it within other people as well, is people are quite drawn to that. If you brand yourself and you pit yourself together and you portray a corporate image, so to speak, I think people are like, look at that, you know, they're drawn to it, I think, and they like the look, and if you make yourselves available, I know you're racing and there's things that you need to do and there's things that you need to fix and change and sort out, but when you make yourself available within that scope, people are drawn to it even more, and they level with you. They certainly understand, and they want to see more of it. They want to see you on the track. They go, oh, I've seen such and such in the pits. I'm going to go and see what they're up to now, and I think that certainly does draw you in. I look for you now because I know that you've become part of the furniture, so to speak. So it's the same as Jamie. Jamie's looking a bit quizzical here. He's like, what are you on about? He's
I'm just absorbing.
When Street Eliminator is running, I know Jamie's going to be about somewhere, and I actually look forward to the gentleman coming and bashing me on the back of the head or shoving me back in my chair to get me out of the way so we can go and talk on commentary. It's just the way it is, and I get more and more enamoured with the whole place every time I go. So, I mean, it was a fairly quiet day yesterday, 22nd, for straight liners, but still look forward to going. The atmosphere that the place generates is quite captivating.
Yeah, and on that note, the same thing that you guys have already touched on. It's kind of
and we've talked about this before on previous episodes and just in the past in general, but there aren't many places you can go other than equally passionate grassroots events where you can just go and talk to people.
Yeah.
And like, it's so accessible to the point where you could speak to somebody who you might have seen and somebody who might have become your idol that you'd never had a chance to talk to, but it's up to you to some extent. You have the freedom to just, if you've got an admission ticket, you can just wander into the pits, and if you get the moment, you can talk to anybody, whether it's somebody with a £500 an event budget or somebody with a £500,000 event budget. It doesn't matter. It's just if you have the wherewithal, you can speak to anybody at any point, and it makes it one of the most organic experiences you can have at any racetrack.
I would totally agree with that, and I think one of the pinnacles of that is the White Label team, because they've set themselves. I think you've set yourself a personal standard to be that team, to accept what you are and race for what you are. Yeah, you're going to push because people come to the track, they want to win, but they're also interested in the journey that it takes to get there.
Yeah. I think, we really, we talked last year about like, what do we stand for as a team? And like one of those key things was like inclusion, like being just there to chat, because none of us know each other from home. Every single one of our team are completely different walks of life, all come together through just that initial common conversation. I mean, like, Ed, you were 2014, right, when we started racing?
I was 2014, started racing, but I think we were posting about it the other day. I actually used to do a bit of Run What You Brung at Santa Park, so I'm quite local. And there's a video I found the other day where it's me and Jacob racing down the track. What year did we pin that down to, Jacob? Was it like 2007 or something in the end?
In that car was 2005 to 2008 for me. So
yeah, so unbeknownst to me, I ended up racing Jacob and I think Luke on the same day. And I never knew them, and annoyingly for me, they never told me about VWDRC at the time. Otherwise, I might have signed up 7 years earlier. But lo and behold, I bumped into them in 2013. I think it was Big Bang Festival, and was like, "What's all this about?" Then I literally went over and bought a race car and it for next year.
Isn't it infectious? It's totally infectious, isn't it? And in this current climate, you look at rising costs and you think, how can I keep pushing the boundaries of this, and how can I keep continuing to do what I do? But the passion seems to override it in some sort of way.
Yeah, well, I think also it's, like James was saying, it's the grassroots of it, which I love about drag racing as well, is that, the beauty of the bracket racing element is you could come along in anything. One of our newest team members bought a car for £300 the other day, the one he took to Darling Day, and he's going to have a great time in it this year. It's not the entry level can be what you want it to be.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that's amazing about the sport.
I think it's how far you want to take it. It'll take it from an entry level all the way to the pinnacle of everything. If you want to go that far, it will let you go that far.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you've got the commitment, you've got the time, and unfortunately the finances. But it'll go as if you want to turn up in a £300 car. Yeah, all power to you.
Yeah. I think the only issue we're finding is where all of the people that come and crew for us end up going to get a car.
going to get another car and end up with about 50 people in the pits. And you say, well, when we need to pit for that event, can we take up a third of the pit area?
Yeah, we did joke that the pit expansion is now the White Label zone.
Well, yeah, that is the common ground now, isn't it? So yeah, that would be good. So who's next on my list? You meant where Ed was started talking? Is he? Yeah, there he is. He's waving. Yeah.
I'll jump in if you want. Hi, Ed Keach. Like Tom said, I've been racing since 2014. I used to run an orange Golf known as Tangoed. I won championship in that in 2014 in my first year. I then did rubbish for 9 years after that, and then I finally got a pro championship in 23 with it. And then I parted ways with it and built the blue Porsche 944, which now has the engine from the Golf originally then. So, I'm 12 years into beating on that engine. And she's holding in there through various guises of supercharged nitrous and turbo applications.
Oh, well, so, yeah, not your common or garden Porsche.
No, there's very little Porsche still on it, if we're being really honest.
Is there a badge?
No.
No. Oh, no. You see, that just totally ruins my next line of question. If it's got a badge on it, it's still technically a Porsche. I'm sure it's got an engine stamp somewhere that says, Porsche Germany.
Yeah, more than likely somewhere. With the Volkswagen engine in it now and an Audi gearbox. And
I'm just going to quickly fly off at a tangent, and this will throw you completely off. Now, obviously, because I come from the drifting background, there's a gentleman that I used to work for in the British Drift Championship. He has since sold the business and now runs a successful YouTube channel in Ireland, and has had a lot of misfortune in the past couple of years, but is now driving forward with his YouTube channel and decided that this year that they would build 5 cars that they can drift with. They've got some pretty spectacular cars, but the funniest one that they've just bought a Ferrari to drift with. As you do. And the power plant that's in the back of this Ferrari is a VR6.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, why? But you ask the question, why would you do that? But yeah, it's quite unique, and it just throws things into the world that the Volkswagen world is still prevalent even in Ferraris.
It's just quite often because no one else has, right? Everybody likes to do something a bit individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend who lives literally 200 yards from where I am now owns a garage, and he does servicing on my car. He loves his cars. He's just £30,000 into a Lotus Esprit, which he has just literally brought back to its original form. Has now bought a Mark I Ford Capri with a very wide arch body kit on it, and has decided the engine was blown in it, and he said, I really want to do something nice in it. Didn't want to put a Ford engine back in it, put a Lotus engine in it. So it's never been done before.
Wow.
So now he has a Mark I Capri with a Lotus engine.
Nice.
So
I think we'll be up to 12 cars this year.
yeah.
As crazy as that. And we're yet to still have 2 of the same, which is our sort of thing that just continues to go, which is quite good going.
I see lots of VWs, Audis. Mark I Caddy does ring bells with me. I do like Mark I Caddies. I'm sorry. I have another friend that owns. He's an ex-drag racer, funnily enough. He's ex-Outlaw Anglia that has a very nice Mark I Caddy that I want to steal from him one day in his barn, and he won't sell it to me. But I'm still trying.
I used to have a lovely Mark I Caddy.
Yeah,
I'm still badgering that bloke, but funnily enough, the car that he did own still races. It's Dalton Scarlett. It still has it now. The Hooligan Fordson van.
Yeah,
that's the car that I originally helped build a long time ago. My signature is in that car somewhere buried under layers of paint. And I have been in that car because it's a 2-seater. So, but I digress. So we have what we have now. We have a Corrado, a Jetta, and a Porsche. Who's next on the agenda?
I'll go next with my Mark I Caddy.
Oh, Mark I. See, look at that Mark I Caddy.
Hi, my name's Phil Blogg. I'm from up north, up at York, the northernest member of the team. The latest member, or so I thought, this was last year. We seem to have a lot more people joining since. So I started roughly around 10 years ago and just put a normal 20 valve in, and a guy called Paul Oryx brought me down to Santa Pod. Did a little bit of Run What You Brung. Got involved with VWDRC, and pretty much been coming ever since.
Yeah.
It's got 20 valve turbo in it, just so all these VR cars know.
Yeah. Have you? I get the general feeling that this conversation is going to be. They're not standard. They've all got a power adder in there somewhere. You know? So.
Yeah. There's a bit of a power add in man. It's 3076 turbo in it. It's all right. It's got me into the tens anyway.
Yep. And that's all that do you get a kick out of it immensely, don't you? So
oh, absolutely, and get a kick out of just being with the team. To be fair, I knew all the team before I joined, and it just seemed great sense to ask if I could join. To be fair, and I was welcomed with open arms. It's been a fab journey already. Unfortunately, I've never won anything. Not even a round. I've been somewhat close once, but no, I just go for the fun of it, and it is a family outside of the family.
You nearly beat me at Big Bang. Do you remember the famous early let off?
I know, and you just out your car, come running over and said, "That's the closest ever. That's the closest ever. Where have you gone, Tom?"
Yeah, I dropped on the phone. I got too excited to remember it.
Oh dear, yeah. Slight technical difficulties, but
yeah, it was good fun that race.
Yeah,
and I get that.
Door slam as the first year.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting the way that everybody seems to have just like morphed into white label. You'll turn up one year and everybody will be white label, and there'll just be one outsider in the corner pits, just sitting there going, "Oh, I might as well just pack up and go home now." Then, and then somebody comes over and says, "Well, do you want to join?" Might as well make a clean sweep of it all.
Yeah.
We want an all-white label semi-finals round, so we figure if we recruit enough for the competition, then we'll have to have it one way or another.
Yeah.
That's
just day before yesterday, Tom.
That's so nobody's so you've anybody within the team has anybody? I mean, you've raced against each other. I'm sure I've seen white label against white label. But
we went. Yeah, we and Jacob went semi-final at Bug Jam last year. And then who else is white label? White label raced each other.
I think I
was meant to race you, Tom, but I broke, didn't I? Bug Jam.
Yeah. It's got scared.
Have I seen have I seen Carrie race anybody?
No, I don't know if I have yet.
Not in the white label form. And then Ed, we raced year before last, but you were in the fastback, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I borrowed Graham Freeman's fastback, which was an awesome little car, and I managed to get. You also, yeah, I think I've raced you as well, Jacob. It's normally an easy round.
Oh, there was a blow, wasn't there?
Can't trust that car.
Yeah, I mean, but look at the range. I mean, isn't Carrie's is a Lupo? Is it not, or is it not?
Yeah.
There's a Lupo.
Yeah.
I mean, we go all the way. We go all the way through the VW ownership. So the Audis.
Well, we got I think this year we'll see a lot more inter-team racing because a lot of the team have jumped into VW Pro. So last year, for example, I missed a couple rounds. Adam missed a couple rounds. Ed, you didn't come out to the second round. So this year, I think will be the year where you've got probably 8 of us consistently every weekend in VW Pro.
Yep.
So we're expecting a few more team rivalry races, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's always welcome. I mean, who has the refresh my memory? Who drives the green TT?
Josh. Yeah, Josh, our youngest member.
Yep. So,
he can't be. He's currently off traveling around Europe in a tent box on the top of his Audi A6. So he's somewhere at the moment, and he's left us the TT to get ready.
All right. By, by the way, I'm racing this year. Can you just sort my car out for me? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm racing round 1, but so can you have it ready for us?
So
Arrive and drive.
show of hands, who's in festival? Are we?
No, it's not a championship round for us.
Is it not?
No.
Festival of Power. I'm crewing for Nathan with the Mustang for the
So-
first time since the rebuild.
Right. So, you're crewing. Okay.
I'm crewing. Yes.
Okay. Don't let him blow anything up, please.
Well, I've got no say in that matter. We'll see what happens. As long as he wires the boost controller the right direction, we won't get £38 of boost on the start line, and we might make it to the second round. You never know.
Well,
We'll see
I'm
what
sure he will. With a everybody's talking about the purple paint job, so he's gonna, that's gonna stand out.
Well, I only realised moments ago that basically everybody else in this conversation races something. I'm the only one who doesn't race anything.
No, I don't.
I
don't.
Well, I mean, the people you've invited for this podcast, everybody,
Fair dues.
everybody races.
Fair.
Everybody drives or races or builds something, and
I
I'm
try
the
to
only
race.
one.
I try.
Yeah.
Well,
You do a good job as well. Don't forget.
no, I don't think you qualify in VW though, do you? In an Alpha?
No.
No. So.
No.
Put a VR6 in it, we'll let you in.
That solves most problems.
Saying that,
build.
yeah, saying that, the whose name eludes me, the altered with the VR6, turbo VR6.
James Gould.
Yeah. That eludes me because there's hardly anything on it original apart from the engine, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, that always.
We
By the
are-
way, this is a VW Pro class. This is a VW racing class. Yeah, it looks absolutely nothing like a VW.
We got same with Ben Mason, is altered with the 20 valve in as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I was about to mention Ben Mace. Yeah.
And I know he pushes the boundaries every single time he takes that car out.
Well, we know that because he came to our pits many times last year saying, "Have you got any extra oil lines and bits and bobs hanging around?" And we were like, "Yes, we do. Thank you, Ben. You can have these." And then he spotted that we had a crack in the exhaust of the Mustang that we hadn't not even clocked. He just wandered over one day. I think it was at the main event, and he was like, "You've got quite a significant crack in your exhaust manifold." And we were like, "No, hadn't even noticed." And he just came over to borrow some fuel lines and some oil lines and some other bits, and it turned out that just by wandering over, he spotted one of the biggest issues that we hadn't even clocked that ended up causing us lots of money last year. So thanks, Ben.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. That's the way it goes, unfortunately, isn't it? It's just
Yeah. We're learning. We're still learning.
I've come off just now. I've just been catching up on the NHRA over the week from the past weekend, and a certain gentleman that does a lot of YouTubing, from Clay Millican, he just says people get fed up with me saying this, but he just says race car. That's the excuse for everything, isn't it? It's just race car.
Oh yeah.
It could be the best atmospheric pressure. It could be the greatest dew point. The track could be absolutely spectacular, and then if it doesn't want to play, it just doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
Just not on his day.
No, and you're like, oh, that was my chance. That was me. That was my chance. But certainly a great widespread garage, and as you say, ever growing. So I think I've got one person left on my list, and he's up here on my screen, but he's probably not. He's probably somewhere over here somewhere. He looks like he's sitting in his armchair and he's about to nod off, but
I'm lying in my bed.
Fair.
Hi, my name's Adam Williamson. I'm a proud member of White Label. This is my second year with the team. I've been involved in going to drag racing since I was about 5. I first went to Avon Park. It was 87 watching. Then my dad started racing, and he started racing Randy Frost. Then he stopped racing. He crewed with Andy Frost right up until the Street Eliminator before he went to turbos. And my racing career started 4 years ago when I passed my driving test. I bought an S4 before I passed my test. That was already slightly modified. And as soon as I said to everyone I wasn't going to modify it anymore, within a week of having it, I modified it more. Took the Santa pod. Then was at the test day. Because it was just after COVID time, or going around the COVID time. Then after that, I modified it again 2 weeks later. Then I got a world record for a S4 B8. Then I modified it again before door slammers and caused a whole heap of problem. And my engine was apart. Well, the top of the engine was right apart up until 12 o'clock Saturday, the day of door slammers. Then the car was fixed at 1 o'clock that afternoon after staying overnight where it was before. And then I raced down the motorway. I won't want to tell you what speed I was doing. Then I managed to qualify at 4 p.m. And then I managed to run my best time, which is my personal best ever, of 11.36. Then after that, that car just caused me nothing but bother. Then next year, I ended up crashing it. So the car got the insurance paid out on it within 6 days. And then rather than buying a road car straight away, I saw a front-wheel drive Seat Leon for sale off an ex-racer. So I bought it off him. And then enjoyed it for a few test days and stuff. Then, as we all know, things got out of control. Decided to change the engine. It's a 20 valve in it. It's stroked and stuff. And then after that was nothing but bother for about a year and a half. And then finally last year, it all come good and it started going down the strip. And I managed to do a few championship rounds. And I'm hoping this year to just have a full go at the championship this year. So, yeah, that's me.
Excellent. You see, look, this is the car obviously got withdrawal systems. The S4 got withdrawal systems because you stopped modifying it. So, so it refused to continue. You know, well, if you're not going to change me, I'm not going to work for you anymore. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to show my age here now. I'm totally of the Max Power era, so I'm kind of stuck in that. So, for all my horrors that you know. But Chris will know. I mean, I didn't do engine mods. I didn't do body mods. I didn't do anything like that. I did interiors for people. So I did a lot of upholstery and I did a lot of stereos. Very loud stereos. Okay. Very loud stereos. And when we were talking earlier, I mentioned to two of our previous guests, Rob and Pete Brown, that I had a Guinness World Record, and I still do. And I couldn't find the certificate, and I found it, and I took a picture and I sent it to them, and that was for stereos. I mean, that was stupidly loud things, you know. So I won championships in Europe for not moving at all. I would park up and then I would win, and it was great fun. You know, it wasn't cheap.
We need a t-shirt. We need a t-shirt that says Graham Max Power Watkinson on it with some subwoofers.
Oh God, no! Don't do that. That's terrible. But that is coming back. The Max Power era is slowly eking its way back in. But I've
seen the show they've been doing. It's pretty good, actually. It's quite nostalgic a bit.
It is. It is. And I've seen a lot of people finding heavily modified cars, buried in weeds and things like that. I remembered a certain Astra, a blue and silver Astra, that was an award-winning car at Max Power, and the very next day it caught fire and was absolutely destroyed.
Built by Charisma, as far as I can remember.
Jamie,
Charisma
God, your namesake, Jamie Shaw, yeah. Charisma. I knew Jamie very well. Yeah.
His hair was worse than mine. Terrible hair.
Yeah, he was like the Peter Stringfellow of the car modifying. No, he was a really nice guy. A little bit nefarious in some of his activities that we won't mention here, but he did build very nice cars. Well, I say that he did. Everybody else did. He just took the glory. But that's on a tangent again, but it's great. The white label motorsport team continues to grow. I think you've carved your name now within Santa Pod. I think what I saw Chris at the track on Sunday yesterday, he said, "Oh, I'm just about this week to start marking out the pits for Festival of Power." And I was like, have you got enough paint to paint the pits area for White Label Motorsport? And he did laugh. So, and yeah, I did think, perhaps he's just going to say, well, we've given them, a quarter of the car park. So, what they do in their space is entirely up to them. But
yeah. Maybe that's the Guinness Book of Record that we can hold is own the most gazebos.
Well, yeah, You need to be sponsored by. One of the sponsors for the BDC was Gala Performance, and they make gazebos. So you need to be sponsored by a gazebo company.
I did try, but I'd already bought them.
Damn it! Yeah, but It does strike a chord with me that when I see you all pitted together and I see all the cars liveried up, and it does strike a chord with me, and it does make me reminisce. Even though somebody told me today I look very old, but I do feel old, and I do harken back to the days when I was doing things that I really enjoy, and that changed. But it's great to see all you guys doing things that you enjoy, and there are gentlemen that said that I haven't won a round. It doesn't really matter to me. That doesn't. I know we're all competitive in some shape or form, but it's the taking part that I really get a kick out of. And I think I think that with you as well somehow.
Well, I think this year we'll be interested to get everyone's got some new stuff hopefully coming out. We've got to even step the pits up even further. Trying to really do some real good proactive and engaging social media content. We've already been doing it over Christmas, trying to just broaden the community out, let's say. So it's great to hear, and any more feedback on some of the new stuff we're bringing out this year would be great.
Yeah.
Hopefully get up to Melbourne.
Yeah,
Melbourne.
I know Chris is going to Melbourne a lot more this year. It's a bit more local for him. So every time he comes to Pod, he has to drive for 4 hours. It's just over an hour for me, so I'm closer, and I know that Chris takes great umbrage of having to drive 4.5 hours, because every time he gets in the car to drive to Santa Pod, there's always roadworks.
Well, I definitely know we're going to have a good handful of cars at the European Front Wheel Drive Championship.
Yep.
How many we have in Scotland is yet to be named.
Oh, You see, no, I've been to Crail, and as I said to Luke, and I've said to him, I say, make sure you brake when you go over when you finish, because don't go over the end of the runway, because you'll end up in the water.
Yeah, well, we're going to be there in person. Hopefully, maybe get 1 or 2 cars up. But I think, like Phil said, for Melbourne, we're definitely going to do a bit of a show in there, try and get as many of the cars there as possible, get all the pits set up.
Yep.
And then also same with Manston as well for the round there. So, branching out is something we can't wait to do this year.
Well, something on those lines, and it was something that Luke had messaged me about, and he said, ask about the White Label event on Saturday the 25th of April.
Yes. So, so basically last year we involved ourselves with Ben, the charity, which is a great foundation. They are an automotive-based charity that, because the automotive industry is one that is known for having, not as much support and highlights. We're talking about the garages, workshops, etc. Majority of the people, either just directly or families or the team, are involved in that industry, even directly or indirectly. So it's something that was very close to home. So last year we teamed up with them. We ran a night at Summer Nationals, I think, on the Friday night. A barbecue. We had some drift trikes, and we made a great amount of money. We repeated it again later on in the year and managed to raise £1,500 for those guys, which was great. So now as well as doing that at the track, we're looking at doing that outside the track. So on the 25th of April in Oxford at Kingley Cafe, which is a sort of motorsport, automotive based restaurant cafe, we're holding a day. So it will be 10 a.m. on the 25th of April until 6 p.m. And then at 6:30, we've got a great band called the Cartwright Cartel, which is going to be on the main stage. We're going to have 4 or 5 of the cars there. Ben, the charity, will be there as well. We'll be selling merchandise, doing some raffles, and essentially just raising some money for an amazing cause. So anyone that is in the area or looking for a day out on the 25th of April, please pop down. I can share some more details with you guys afterwards. Just maybe go out on socials.
Always. That's the sort of thing that Chris and I want as well. Always share stuff with us. Email Chris, email myself. Definitely. And that's the things that we like to do. We like to humanize the website, but then we want to show people. To me, it's all about the journey. It's all about what makes people tick. I'm a horrendous person for asking questions, and understanding what makes things work. But it humanizes us all, and to be involved in that is very admirable. And I wish you every success with that. And I'll have to I'll check my diary.
Make sure you do. I think, like I say, the two sides of it for us is raising some money where possible for the cause, and then also it's another audience to try and get to that we can encourage the start of the funnel to get more feet in the ground at the track. Ultimately, you bring your kids along, we sit them in the cars, get them to play around. In some of the raffle prizes will be tickets. So it just starts that journey, that bit of interest, which ultimately will end up in more boots on the ground at the racetrack.
I think you've done your first competition as such, haven't you already? So yep. I saw, your tickets. I think you did for the first prize, weren't they? So
we've done 2 now. So we've had 2 winners. First one was some VIP tickets to Dorfhammers, and then also we just someone won a weekend for Euro finals as well. The best is still to come. We have got 2 more to go. We've got the Bug Jam competition coming up, and tickets for Bug Jam are always worthwhile because it's an epic weekend. And then the pièce de résistance will be a 2-seater dragster voucher for someone, which will be an amazing experience. So keep your eyes out on the social media to get involved in the competitions.
Well, that's team members, isn't it, Tom?
The team. Surely the Porsche and the 2-seater dragster are similar, right?
Yeah, you're right. Basically the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a slightly different one in front of each other, side by side. Slightly different, but if you want to go in the back, you can.
Yeah.
But great to hear from you guys. Thank you for joining us. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm sure your stomachs are rumbling and saying, I really want my dinner now. Can you go now, please? But
can I just say something? Can I just say thank you to Eurodragster for over 25 years of coverage of most drag racing events, big events in Europe, because you've been at the top of the game of doing that. And thank you.
Chris and I both we appreciate that. We're going to defer. I'm going to defer to our predecessors, Simon and Andy. Tog. They did a very, very hard job. I know that now Chris and I do what we do, but we've sort of spread the load between us, where Simon used to do it all himself. So we take our hats off to Simon every single time his name is mentioned, and Tog. We just do what we do, and we decided
we are aiming to get back in Europe for live reporting. It's just like everything; it's all due to funding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. At the moment, the funding isn't just not there at the moment to cover your overseas reporting.
And we feel duty bound to keep our standard in this country as well. So we want to get back to Sweden. We want to get back to Hockenheim. We really are pushing every single time to do that. And sometimes there are so many hurdles that get in our way. It's not an excuse. It's just life, unfortunately.
But also
understandable.
carrying on from what Adam said, like I know Graham, you basically like you just kind of to some extent deflected and said, hey, we're just carrying on from what Simon did. Like Simon did a great job. You guys, nobody is expecting anything from you, but at the same time, the pair of you, Graham and Chris, you are both doing an exceptional job, and that's I assume that's what Adam was referring to, is the fact that regardless of what the standard was before, the fact that you guys are both doing what you do to the level that you're doing at now, you really do deserve a lot more praise than you probably get on a daily
and I know
basis.
Chris and I will both say we appreciate that. Yeah, we really do appreciate that, and we do get messages from time to time, and we do appreciate every single one, and we reply to every single one. So that's just to say, we were given the ball by Simon, and we decided to run with it because I think Chris and I and Dave, because Dave is a little bit quiet, he sits in the background and never really says anything.
Well,
but
he's redesigning the site at the moment to make it a bit more modern. So.
Okay.
So we always said that we could never let it die, and I have no history with Eurodragster until I started working with Simon, like 3.5 years ago. So we when Simon said that he was going to stand down, we felt duty bound that we couldn't let it die. So that's the only reason that Chris and I got involved, and we've just decided to drag it kicking and screaming into the 21st century. So and we're still learning. We still slip up from time to time. I know my spelling is abysmal. Thank God for spell checkers online, but they are my friend. And in 2 weeks I'll be back doing what I really get a huge kick out of doing. I always maintain that when I was a photographer, and I still am a photographer every now and again, I don't do as much as I'd like to do, but I always got a huge kick out of seeing smiles on people's faces. It wasn't a win or a loss or anything. It was just the smiles on people's faces when they came off track, because I like to see people getting a kick out of what they do, and I see that in you guys every day, and I see that in Jamie in the way he does it with his colouring in. I'm going to poke fun at him again. But I see White Label, going stratospheric. They're not going to be. You're not going to sit on your backsides and wait for things to happen. You're going to push the boundaries at every single stage, and to say that my temporary hat, my imaginary virtual digital hat is off to you guys, and long may it continue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I hope you have a good evening and you have a good dinner. We've talked far too long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to talk to Jamie about a few bits and pieces. He's going to bring us up to date with what he's up to. You're quite welcome to.
If you get chance, Graham, call over and see him in the pitch.
I will do. Chris gets more chance to mooch around the pits than I do. I very rarely get allowed to go to the toilet, which is quite dangerous sometimes. But I love what I do. Chris Love really does like competing. I know he wants to win a round. I can see it every time he races.
Yeah, I've got to the quarterfinals at one event. That's my claim of fame. So that was it.
I say run faster, but I probably can't run. I love doing what I do. I really do get a huge kick out of what I do, and I love feeding off people. They give me things. They talk to me. Jamie is very good at coming by and just sitting and having a good catch up and a good chat. He's a font of knowledge about Street Eliminator, and I always want more. So have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see White Label doing what they do.
Thank you for the invite.
Don't forget to send the news in to us. So.
Yeah, send us news. Yeah, we'll send you an email.
We will do.
Yeah,
we'll do.
Have a good evening. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Cheerio.
Bye.
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 And he's no. You can hang up now.
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
I'm going to leave that in. Thank you to White Label for joining us on this podcast. We also have our good friend Jamie Binney of Design by Binney, podcast sponsor. Hint, 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 hint. coming to give us a few updates of what he's been up to, what's going on in the Bricktop racing front, I understand.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, I believe we had the privilege of joining you guys on episode 2 after the inaugural episode of the Eurodragster podcast. Myself and Nathan joined you just to give some support and an update, and also, as you guys well know, I am a very avid supporter of what you do, and I came on board with Design by Vinny as my business to join you guys and support you as you may need and as you may see fit. And that was a good few months ago now.
Yeah,
and
it was.
I think that was basically, that was sort of towards the end of last year. So at the early period of what is, for you guys in the US, if you're listening, try to be sitting down when you hear this, but we have a 6-month off season, which is quite a horrible thing to say out loud, really, when you compare it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that some of the racing circuits in America would say, "Oh, yes, please."
Well, some of them would say yes, please, but the rest of them would say, well, we could, we'd much rather have that good weather and the ability to get that data and everything else. But yeah, so over the off season and at the end of last year, I approached Graham and I said, I love what you're doing and I love that you've got the podcast going on, so I wanted to be a part of it, and here we are. But episode 2, myself and Nathan joined you, and we I gave my background as to how I got to where I am, and then we got some history from Nathan and what he's been up to and how he got to where he is. And ironically, actually, during episode 2, you, Graham, said, well, how come Nathan's car's black or black/purple? And Nathan said, no, it's not purple, it's grey. And actually what you did was you had a premonition, because as everybody knows now, the car is now purple.
Yes.
Because we in the early days, multiple years ago, when Nathan and I first became friends, and he first came to me for graphic design and renderings, he had a couple of cars that he wanted to see what they look like in sort of Cadbury's / Lamborghini purple. And here we are, 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks out from the Festival of Power, and after a brilliant first year, like much higher up in points than we ever expected to be in Supercomp, and obviously, as we've spoken about in previous episodes, that didn't exclude a few breakages and late nights and everything else, but here we are with a freshly rebuilt Fox body with new monster heads on it, some wheelie bars from the Chilton brothers, and completely wrapped in not Cadbury's purple, but in, I believe the actual color is Oracle purple. I think that's what the name was.
So it's a wrap. It's not a paint job. It's a wrap.
Yeah. So to some extent, that's also a good thing, because the original paint, or rather the paint, once the car came over from the US, it was originally purchased by Andy and Paul Prisball from Prism Paintworks, and they painted it in the kind of sort of magnesium green grey that you saw last year, and nobody wanted to mess with it. In terms of, it looked great. Like it needed to be kind of left alone, because it was a really nice paint job. However, no matter what we did, the idea of purple never escaped Nathan's brain. It was always like, well, yeah, but what if it was purple? What if it was purple, etc., etc. And we ended up getting a really good deal from a company called Amari Digital. And their stickers are now on the car for this coming year, because they did us a great deal and they helped us out, and It was, as I say, it's I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I haven't got it in front of me, but it was effectively, if you're only listening to this podcast, then imagine a R33 GTR in sort of midnight purple, where it's like about 5 different colors depending on exactly how you look at it. Well, funnily enough, that also made doing the updated hoodie design very difficult because it's a different color. Like you can look at it from 7 different angles and it looks a different color, but it came out exactly how he wanted it to. He always wanted it to be sort of candy purple in the sunlight, but also deep purple in the shadows. And yeah, we managed to nail it thanks to Amari Digital and thanks to Nathan's wife Danielle. She pulled a couple of strings where she works, and we were hoping to actually kind of reveal it at the Festival of Power, which is in a couple of weeks, and instead enough people guessed on the spy pictures that we sent to yourself, the Euro Dragster, and a couple of other places, and we thought, you know what, we've got the new hoodie design that I did based on the old thing, and we just released it all at once. And
but still, even though when you see the car in the flesh, you're still going to go, look at that, it's still going to capture people. I've seen the pictures, but pictures don't do things justice in the real life.
No, of course, and most of those pictures are like literally while it was in the garage, so you haven't even got the sunlight on it. And the one day that we did take it out to take some what we thought were going to be reveal pictures, we pulled it out of the garage. Nathan started the car up. We woke all the neighbours up, and he idled it down the street. And as we got down to where we wanted to take the pictures, the clouds came over and the sun disappeared, and it was the
typical British weather.
Stuff. It was but yeah, a friend / contact of his at Denny's Detailing. Once we'd done the wrap and got everything else sorted, Denny came over and did a ceramic coating and a polish and a varnish, and it looks like a new car again. If anything. And it's been great. It's been quite an experience because most people, if you're going to get a wrap done, you'll do it in a temperature controlled environment and like the cleanest possible environment. And instead we did what the best we could with the home garage that was available to us. So,
yeah, it's the passion that goes into it. I think, like I was talking with White Label, I think it's a lot of it is all about the journey. I think, and it's now, I think, for Nathan, it's now going to be his car. It always was his car, but now it's his car because it's his colour.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. It's a case of, like, if anybody listening now happens to listen back to episode 2, Nathan talks about the fact that the reason that he was so eager to buy the car was because when he first jumped into it, when it was at Andy Chilton's, it just fit him. It made sense. It was meant to be. It's very difficult. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like it was molded around it, meant to be, etc., etc. And then the additional, or rather the kind of the convenience that this wrap opportunity came around with Amari meant that it was almost like, all right, well, we've already ticked all the other boxes, so
might as well
tick this last one.
Make it complete. Yeah. And now all that's left to do now is go and win.
Well, yeah. So as you say, we have, we also have Nathan got some wheelie bars built by Andy Chilton and the Chilton Brothers Racing. The same guys who they build a lot of stuff and do a lot of like tube chassis work for all kinds of builds, but they also do a lot of machine work and CNCing, etc. And they built some wheelie bars specifically for Nathan's Mustang, and we fitted them a couple of weeks ago. They look great, but we're not going to know how they're gonna change or
dynamic,
how the car's going to react to them until we've done a few runs with them. But the main reason that those wheelie bars were even ordered and built for Nathan's car was because we spent last year running an 890, and as much as he's still looking to run in 890 this year, we're also looking to actually stand on it. And like, because the car has basically been running on baby boost like for the last 18 months. So
Well, you say that.
yeah, well, as you say, yeah, if the boost controller is wired in the right direction, then we should be able to
Yeah.
to keep track of it. But
Good man. He's not going to make that
Nathan-
mistake again.
No. He made that mistake once, and we didn't even know it was made until it was too late. But
Yeah.
this coming year, it's a case of we still have the maps and the tunes for the 890, but we're going to be going to. We've already entered into the test day pre Festival of Power, so we can see just how much difference the new heads, the monster heads that we've now got on the block, how much difference that makes. And then it's a case of trying to juggle between 890 Supercomp, and then if we have the time and the money and the resources, then stand on it to potentially see if we can run a 7 and eventually get to 760 heads up. That's the plan.
Ah, you see. No, you see, my brain is I don't know. I mean, I've always thought that was a 760 heads up car, and I don't know why. I don't know really what it was in my head about
I think that might be. I don't know whether we spoke about it when Nathan first got hold of it, but again, it was a car that came from Canada, and when it came from Canada, it went to the Prisballs, Paul and Andy Prisball. They sold it to Andy Chilton. Andy Chilton sold it to Nathan. When it was in Canada, it was running 7s, naturally aspirated at 180 miles an hour and standing on the bumper. It was doing some stuff that most Fox buddies kind of shouldn't do, but back then it was running 7s. But the difference is, well, there's a massive difference between a naturally aspirated huge cubic inch Ford as opposed to a turbo LSX, and then the difference you have to make to the suspension and yada yada. But
okay,
yeah, so it has been 7s. It's been 7s many times, and it's been if you came to the pits, if you happen to stop past the Bricktop Racing pits anytime this year, and we open the doors of the car, you can actually still see the gold paint that was on the roll cage, like down in the footwell from when the car was gold when it was in Canada. But yeah, Nathan redesigned everything. So the transmissions from Edge Performance, as the best in the business this side of the pond, Edge Performance Transmissions did the transmission, but that was also funded and somewhat designed by Pete at Boost Monkey. Pete Smith, as in Pete and Victoria Smith. They sorted out the transmission and all that kind of stuff along with Edge, and then #Mechanic are the guys that good friend who has an MOT center in Sandy in Bedfordshire, and they provide the transport so we can get the Fox body to the track every week for every race. And then we have sponsors like Top Decks, who are a decorating company, and last year they provided us with some good funding, and they tripled their funding this year because they saw what we were doing. And again, Andy Chilton and the Chilton brothers, and like they've done a great deal for us. Amari Digital did the wrap. Pins and Knuckles are the guys that do our merchandise, and we now provide, or rather, I personally, as designed by Vinny, have had such a long relationship with those guys that we basically can offer anybody either 10% additional quantity or 10% off any orders based on merchandise through me and Pins and Knuckles. So we've got a really, really solid group of guys that are supporting us, and they saw what we did in Nathan's first year. I mean, Nathan's been racing for forever, but last year was the first year going into a proper MS UK style category, and we impressed enough people that we've got a lot of good guys who want to stick around with us for the next couple of years. So,
and that's admirable. That's truly admirable. My hat's off to both of you, really, for that. It was a little bit like us. I mean, Chris, I'm not going to take anything from this. We knew that some of our sponsors for the website were adjusting their marketing. We knew that something was amiss. We knew that things were going to drop out, and we knew that it was going to make it even tighter. And I take my hat off to Chris that he didn't sit around and wait for woe is me. He just knuckled down and found more, and we have.
Yeah.
And we're
Turbo Smart this year as well.
So Turbo Smart have come on board with Euro Dragster, so they've sponsored us this year.
Oh, that's great. Has that been officially announced, or is that something?
It has. Yeah, it was officially announced on the website last week.
Yep. So one of our new sponsors is Turbo Smart. We've still got quite a lot of our originals. We're always thankful to them when we're talking about sponsors.
Yeah.
We have got. There are another couple waiting in the wings. We don't know quite what's going on with them yet, so we'll keep them quiet. We'll see. Yeah. Cool. So we're very thankful. That's great. That's really good for us. I mean, to know that people are still out there wanting to support us, so it kind of builds us up a little bit. But it's great to see that you and Nathan are continually moving forward, and see you back at the track with Street Eliminator in 2 weeks.
10 days time.
10 days time. Yeah, I have to count those.
Well, I won't be there. I won't be at the track.
He'll be in his caravan in some field somewhere. I don't know where he'll be, but
we'll be trying to FaceTime you as well.
We'll try. Yeah, but, the signal is abysmal. But
I think we're gonna again, because not just because the car's purple. We know that purple means faster, but we've got the bars on the car for the first time now, and I think we're gonna use the test day free FOP, so we'll be there on the 2nd, because I think it's the 3rd to the 5th is Festival of Power, and the 2nd is the test day.
Yep.
So we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there crack of dawn on the 2nd, and see if we can't break those wheelie bars with the new heads and everything else we got going on.
Don't say that. Please don't say that. But
if I say it, it's less likely to happen.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll do what? Well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx anything. I'll keep that one. I'll keep that one under my hat. But you know where I'll be. You know where to find me. I'll say thank you for joining us, giving us a quick update. Thank you for joining us on the White Label call, because I know your insights are invaluable.
Hey, I'm happy to be there whenever, but I also don't want to tread on anybody's toes in terms of if you've got certain people you want to talk to. I don't want to.
No, but if you've got people that you I think are good and are willing to listen, come and join us. And that's one of the things that I wanted to raise is we could always
we always got a few people lined up.
Yeah, but we want to get a list. We want to get a nice big list that we can pick on, and get their stories out there, because I think that's what makes the difference. Is it's all about their journeys and their racing careers, and I think that's what people like to hear about. I had a gentleman come to me at Straightliners and said, "I love listening to the podcasts," and I'm going to be honest, and I've never met the guy before in my life, but he was a really nice gentleman to talk to. Yeah. And do you know what? I thought I need to speak to him, and it'd be good to get on. It'll be good to get on.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
And that's it. My journey would be coming home on those evenings, so we decided to make the conscious decision to move it, and going forward, it just seemed the right thing to do, and I think that's what happens with a lot of things. So
it's one of these, it will it will evolve as it goes. We'll work
Absolutely.
out what works best as it works. But and most importantly, I will be supporting you regardless. Whatever I'm putting in, etc.
And I might have said this before, and it was an analogy, and I think I'm going to associate it with this podcast. It was like we went to a kennels and we bought a dog and we bought a puppy, and then we didn't really know how big the fully grown dog would be. So that's the way, and people are coming back to us, and people are saying really well done, really like listening to it. And we're just short of 1,000 downloads.
Yeah. I saw the download. All I would also say is if it's pretty clear that I was waffling on a little bit. So if you just chop all the waffling out and only include the bit about the sponsors for Nathan and all that, then that'll be
I'm going to leave the lot in, because it makes you and it makes us. And I think that's what I always wanted this to be. I didn't want it to be, cut that bit out, a lot of post editing. I just wanted it to be people to be themselves. And I think that's how White Label were as well. And I think that's really good. With that being said,
All right,
have a
chaps.
good
Well,
evening.
thank
I'll
you
let
very
you all
much.
go. I will see you in 10 days' time, Jamie.
You certainly will, whether
Yeah.
you like it or not, sir.
Yeah,
And I'll see you when I see you next.
I'll see you whenever, yeah.
Well, yeah. The
Yeah,
sooner,
whenever, yeah.
the sooner the better, Chris.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
thank you for joining us.
Will be,
Have a
yeah.
good
Thanks very
evening.
much,
Bye-bye.
Jamie.
And we're back again in the room. Well, we never left the room, really, but we're back again. Great chat, a great catch up there with Jamie Binney, bringing us up to date with the Bricktop Racing with Nathan Hulks and the Fox Body Mustang. Plus a few bits and pieces there just to catch us up with how he's getting on. We will see him a little bit more and report with him a little bit more. Probably get some more bits and pieces in 10 days' time, 2 weeks' time at the Festival of Power at Santa Pod, where you're going to see the first outing for quite a few extra vehicles this year. Colin Miller coming out in Top Fuel, in the brand new rebranded Flying Fifer Top Fuel Dragster. That will all be coming out, hopefully, to do his licensing. You'll see Suzanne Kellin coming out, to brush off the cobwebs, I would suggest. Get the car ready and make sure that everything's as it should be. This, with the Festival of Power coming up, that's a good start for Santa Pod's 60th anniversary year. There's quite a few extra bits and pieces going on. I see Martin Hill will be out with Fire Force 3 and Fire Force 5. Roger Goring will be out in the Firestorm car. Julian Webb in Spider-Man will be about, and Oklahoma Willie will also be making runs. Also on the agenda, we will see, or we hope we will see, and I'm pretty sure we will do. We'll see Graham Sykes coming out in the all new Force of Nature steam rocket bike. That will be absolutely great to see. Plus all the extra classes that you will see at the event. There's a lot more bits and pieces going on around the site. Live Action Arena and all that with Terry Grant, Motor Syndicate, Red Bull Nitro Circus Performers, Fusion Extreme. There'll be some sim racing going on. There'll be all the usual bits and pieces that go on with a massive Santa Pod event. So we'll be there, which is one of the things we will always endeavour to do. Also, just reiterate the Straightliners event that was on the 22nd. There's a gallery that I provided. Just some really good images captured from the track, a few from the pits, of all people getting used to, getting practice. Obviously, they run that as a competition, so they a little bit of action from the track there. Also, Tog on that same weekend did Manston Park. So if you want to go online and check out your dragster.com galleries, that'll be in the events page, and that will be always well received if I take a trip to the events page. Next on the agenda will be the Spring Shakedown at Melbourne Raceway. I know for a fact Chris will be attending that in his Alpha, so that will be a great thing to see. Let's have a hunt for some international bits and pieces. There was the Arizona Nationals. They were recently held in Chandler, Arizona. That was the NHRA's schedule. I saw quite a few bits and pieces flowing around social media. That is always something well to see. So we've got the results from the FMP NHRA Arizona Nationals. Let me check that I'm on the right one. So Top Fuel went to Sean Langdon. A Funny Car went to Ron Capps. Dallas Glenn took Pro Stock. Justin Bond took Pro Mod. Tim Seymour took Superstock. Justin Lamb was the winner in Stock Eliminator. Douglas Johnson, Supercomp. Val Torres Jr. was Supergas. Ron Mendenhall was Top Sportsman. Cooper Chun was Top Dragster. Doug Kalita took the Too Fast Too Tasty Top Fuel Challenge. Dallas Glenn took the Too Fast Too Tasty Pro Stock Challenge. JR Todd took the Too Fast Too Tasty Fuel Car Challenge. And Nathan Sitko took the Legacy Nitro Funny Car win. And they are the results from the Arizona Nationals from the NHRA. Just to keep you up to date, I will see you once again in 10 days / 2 weeks' time, depending on when you listen to this, at Easter at Centre Pod for Festival of Power. Come and say hello. I will try and get out to the pits. Can't guarantee that. Very busy, as always. Great to have you listening and with us for this episode. It's gone on a little bit longer than normal, but I think it was well worth it. Thank you to all the guys from White Label Motorsport. Thank you for Jamie Binney. Thank you to Chris. Thank you for all of your downloading of previous episodes. Always available wherever you get your downloads from. So whether it's Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or the company who host our site, Podbean. We also have it on our website on Eurodragster.com. You can hit the player on there and you can play it live from there. Thank you for joining us for episode 7, and we'll catch you after Festival of Power, and hopefully we'll have a few more stories to bring you up to speed. And thank you very much. See you soon.
That was the Euro Dragster podcast. For drag racing news, reports, galleries and classifieds, visit Eurodragster.com. Join Graham and Chris next time for more from the world of drag racing.